Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Vlogmas Day 16. This is really cruising by quick. My name is Emma if you're new here, and I'll be posting a video every day leading up to Christmas as part of Vlogmas. Right now it is around 8:30 a.m. Slept in a little bit, made my cinnamon apple oatmeal, took the initiative, cut up that apple, have my white mocha coffee. It's gonna be a good day. I'm just gonna eat my breakfast and then I'm gonna get straight on into my Peloton workout. I am ready to work out. I was originally going to do a arm hardcore stack today, but I slept kind of weird last night and my neck is like a little sore. I think I was like having it at a weird angle. So I thought instead of doing the arm stack today, I would replace it with some yoga to try to stretch out and feel good. So I found a 20-minute yoga flow class by Ross Rayburn from November 22nd, 2021. I really like Ross. I feel like the vibes are always good. It is tagged intermediate, and I don't know if I'm an intermediate yogi, but no time like the present to find out. So I'm excited for this class. I think it'll be fun, relaxing, kind of just what I need for the day. And after that, I'm gonna hop on over to the boxing program, and y'all were totally right. I can take the class 5 that I missed from last week, even though now the second week has started. But that's fine because the second week only has 3 days of exercises and I don't want to miss anything important. So I'll be taking the 20-minute boxing basics class by Kendall Toole. And it says, on day 5, Kendall will review all you've learned in week 1 to get you ready for shadow boxing in week 2. And I'm a little worried that it's going to be the same thing as class 1 because that was also a 20-minute boxing basics class by Kendall Toole, but the thumbnail is different. So hopefully it's not. If it is, I'll be a little sad, but I have confidence they didn't do that. And yeah, I think it'll just be a good way to close out week 1, and then I can start week 2 tomorrow. So that's awesome. I'm super happy that you can go back and take classes that you missed. And I was looking for a ride last night, opened my app, wasn't really sure what I was feeling, and I saw it right at the top, a 30-minute XOXO Cody sleigh ride by Cody Rigsby from December 14th, 2021. So it just came out yesterday. Usually I wouldn't take Cody back to back, but you can't just not take this. Like, you know it's going to be hilarious. So I was like, you know what? This is exactly what I need. This is perfect. I think that it will be super funny, so we'll see. And then after the Cody ride, I'm going to be taking a 5-minute cool down ride by Dennis Morton from September 20th, 2021. This is the one where you do the same cadence and you just keep taking off resistance. Such a solid cool down ride. I was like, you know what, this is a good one to take today. And then afterwards, I'm trying a new 5-minute post ride stretch with Jess King from October 14th, 2021. Love Jess King. I think Jess King might be my favorite female instructor. So I'm excited to take a post-ride stretch with her. They're all the same, but I really like Jess King's attitude, so I think it'll be a good class. And that's what's on the schedule for today, like an hour and 20 minutes. So honestly, a little bit shorter than what I usually do, which is totally fine. An hour and 20 is still very long. I'm very excited for this yoga, and we can just get right on into this workout. And here is the stellar workout fit of the day. We got Lululemon Energy Bra size 6, and then these Outdoor Voices Zoom 8-inch short, first time wearing them. I'm excited. I think the color is very cute. Questionable on how much it matches the top. I think this color would look good with white, but I also think it'd be very cute with like a light pink sports bra, and I do have one at Chris's house, so when I get back, I can style it a little bit better. And then I have my defeat socks, you know, get a little bit of an ankle sock action with the bike shorts. Little crazy of an outfit, but I always like to wear my new clothes right away, so it can't wait for better styling. I just finished my workout and I have a lot of thoughts as always. So the 20-minute yoga flow with Ross, I am not an intermediate yogi. I have learned today. It wasn't so much that the moves were too hard to follow or that they were going too fast. It just required flexibility that I don't have. And I tried my best, and he also gave modifications sometimes, not a ton. I don't blame him for not giving modifications because it was an intermediate class, but I just am not flexible enough. Also, there was pop music playing in the background, which I didn't think I realized, but I don't like that. It was very odd. Like, we were trying to do like Sun Salutations and Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus was playing in the background. It's a little off-putting in my opinion. If you're an intermediate yogi, I would still like recommend that class. It just wasn't for me. Like, I don't have the flexibility yet. Maybe one day, but it was not bad, and I did feel like I got some stretches in, and when I could hit the stretches, it felt really, really good. But I think there were a lot of stretches that I wasn't doing correctly just because I don't have the flexibility. Then the boxing class was also kind of a letdown. I feel like I could have just skipped it and gone straight into shadow boxing. It was different than the day one class, which was good because otherwise I would have been really mad. But the first 5 minutes was just warm up, which again is them just talking and reminding you about everything that we've covered in the last 5 classes, like literally how to throw punches. It's like we've done this for an hour and a half at this point. I know how to do like a jab cross, which I think it's interesting that they have that in the warm up. And then after that, we just did combos, but I honestly didn't feel like the combos were as complicated as some of the other ones. I really liked Rad's class, I believe, that was defense, because he really combined a lot of like defensive moves with offensive moves, and I really felt like I was getting like really good combos in. Kendall did it a little bit, but they definitely weren't like as long or as balanced in defense and offense as Rad's class. And yeah, I feel like it would have been an easy class to skip and I could have gone straight into the shadow boxing, but I'm so glad that I have taken it. It will be interesting the difference between week 1 and week 2. For week 2, there's 3 days that you do it, and each day there's like a 5-minute warm up, 30 minutes of shadow boxing, which seems quite long, and then a 5-minute cool down. So I'm excited to try it. Week 1 was good. I feel like I am ready for week 2. Probably could have even skipped day 5, but I feel like day 1 through day 4 were really great to kind of get into it. And I feel a lot more confident in the moves that I'm currently doing. Like, I feel like I have the footwork right, which after like the first 1 or 2 classes, I didn't feel like that was true. So yeah, I feel prepared, excited for week 2. We'll probably start it tomorrow. I think it'll be a good time. And then the 30-minute XOXO Cody ride was fun. It was honestly a little harder than I expected. For like the first, I think like 20 minutes, he was trying to go hard and not give us a lot of recovery. So then like the last 10 minutes could be more of a joke. For like 4 minutes, we had recovery and he answered a bunch of XOXO Cody questions that were themed with Christmas. And it was funny. It wasn't like the funniest thing in the world, but I enjoyed the ride. If you like Cody, I would take it. If you don't like Cody, I don't think that this ride is going to sell you on Cody. So that's my opinion. I enjoyed it. I'm glad that I took it. It was a fun ride, got me in the festive mood. He also responds with what happened with the Sex and the City reboot with Peloton. I don't know if anyone could be unspoiled at this point. I haven't even watched the show. I haven't watched the original Sex and the City, and I haven't watched the reboot, but Peloton is portrayed negatively in it, and I don't really understand what happened. Like, basically Peloton was like, we signed off it being in the show, but we didn't sign off on the negative portrayal. Like, we just didn't know. And it's like, I feel like you probably should have looked into it a little bit more before saying that's fine, but that's just my opinion. I feel like Peloton marketing is like a little iffy. I don't really know what goes on in there, but I feel like they've made some bad moves over the past couple of years. But I thought that it was interesting that he addressed it, and he gave a very corporate answer. I forget exactly what he said, but he pretty much ignored the question. Like, he just didn't really comment on it. And then the 5-minute cooldown ride with Dennis, always good, no complaints. And then the 5-minute post-ride stretch with Jess was interesting because I actually do some stretches on the bike. I've done them in my like day in Peloton routines before. They haven't changed. I like lean my feet back in the pedals and bend over, and then lean my feet forward, and then alternate legs and do it on the other side. So I've been doing those, and then I get off the bike before I even start the post-ride stretch. But this stretch, you started on the bike, but I'd already taken my shoes off. So I was like, oh, whatever. And she just did the moves that I already do. So I think that I would really like this post-ride stretch. I just have to remember to not get off my bike, and I can just go like right into it after I do my cooldown ride, instead of like adding my own stretches and then getting off the bike and starting the post-ride stretch. Besides that, I did like it. I will take it again. I just need to remember to start on the bike, and then she gives you time to like unclip and do stretches on the side. I wish there was a way to tell if you started on the bike or didn't. I don't think there is a way, but if there is and you know it, please let me know because I'd be curious. But overall, good workout, and now I'm ready to shower and then start some work, and I'll see you at lunch. Leftover cheesy chicken enchiladas for lunch with rice and peas. Very excited. Good lunch. Stromboli for dinner. Yum. This is quite the big boy. But my dad and I are splitting it, and there'll definitely be leftovers as well. Fudge for dessert. It is now after dinner, and unfortunately, since it's Wednesday, today is my mom's rest day, so she has no ride to review today, but she will be back strong tomorrow. I honestly really like that she like sticks very strictly to her rest days, because that's something that I could get better at. Like, I'll be on my rest day and I'll be like, oh, I like want to ride, but I know you need a lot of recovery to perform well. So she took a rest day today, but I thought it'd be fun to talk about more of the And Just Like That, the Sex and the City reboot. I like looked more into it because I had kind of been following along, but not really, because I just don't really care about Sex and the City. But now I feel like Peloton made this like a huge deal. And it's not only Peloton, like Peloton stock dropped by a lot when this happened, so then they like had to respond. But if you're somehow unspoiled, definitely just stop the video now. After this, I'm just gonna wrap up the video so you're not missing much. But if you want to hear the story, continue to watch. So basically, the first episode of the Sex and the City reboot, Mr. Big, who I'm not sure exactly who he is like in this show, wants to get his 1,000th Peloton ride, and I actually found it on HBO and like watched the parts that had Peloton in it, and you can clearly see it is a Peloton. Like, all of the branding is still on it. It is prominently displayed. Also, the instructor is Jess King. They call her Allegra in the show, but it is clearly Jess King. It is interesting because when he's actually taking the ride, the voiceover is not Jess King. Like, they just got somebody else's voice, but the instructor herself looks like Jess King. She's super easy to recognize because Jess King is ginger. Like, there's no other ginger Peloton instructor. So yeah, basically he just does the ride and then he gets off and he drops his phone, and when he goes to pick it up, he has a heart attack and then he dies. And Peloton says that they signed off on them using the bike, but they didn't know how, which I think is odd. And then I also wonder like what happened on the Jess King side, because I'm sure she had to sign off on it as well, you would think. I don't really know. Maybe she doesn't. Like, maybe Peloton can sign off on her behalf. But if I was Jess King, I would be pissed. So then the Peloton stock dropped, I think, by like $5. I mean, Peloton stock is just horrible right now, but it dropped even further, and then people got mad, right? Because there's really no reason why this should cause Peloton stock to drop. Like, this is a entirely fictional show. So then Peloton first released like a cardiologist saying that the reason Mr. Big had a heart attack is because of his lifestyle choices. And he had already had a heart attack before, and he was also like a big drinker and stuff. And I feel like that was a weird response on Peloton's part, just because I guess they felt like they had to respond. I feel like they were taking it very, very seriously with that response, and I guess they felt like they needed to because their stock was dropping IRL, but I just thought it was weird. And then after this statement, Peloton stock didn't improve, so people were still mad. So then they got together with the actor for Mr. Biggs and then also Jess King, and it was directed by Ryan Reynolds, and then they put together an ad in like a day or 48 hours. But everybody's like, the ad is good. I don't think it's that good. I can link it down below so you can watch it. But basically Jess King is just saying to Mr. Biggs like, oh, let's take another ride. And then he's like, yeah, like, sounds good, like, let's keep riding. And then Peloton does like this super fast voiceover that's like, oh, like, cycling is actually good for you and like you should do it, haha. Like, they add a bunch of other things to it, but it's very odd in my opinion. Or like when they insert the person doing the voiceover and talking very fast, it is odd to like say all of the pros of cycling. And then right at the end, they say that he's alive. Like Mr. Biggs is alive, and Mr. Biggs is not alive. He's dead in the show. So I just feel like the whole thing was very odd. Under the YouTube comments, it is interesting because they're all very positive. They're like, oh, like Peloton killed this, like good job. And I honestly wonder if somehow they limit or just delete all their bad comments. You think that would be pretty hard to do because I'm sure a lot of people are commenting, but I just thought that was very interesting. And I still think even now Peloton hasn't really recovered. It is kind of crazy because it is fictional. I also see a lot of people that are like, oh, there's no such thing as bad publicity. Like people are thinking and talking about Peloton again, but I don't know. I don't think that this like worked out in their favor. Let me know what you think, and if you watch like the reboot, what you think. I think a lot of people were also upset because they didn't want that character to die. Like this is very odd that they killed like a big character in this reboot in the first episode. I don't really know what HBO is doing. I don't think that Peloton has any kind of basis that they can actually sue them, but it will be interesting if anything happens from this or if Peloton will be featured in any later episodes. Right now there's only 2 episodes out, so time will tell, I guess. But that is my opinion, an interesting news cycle this week. And with that, I'm going to wrap up the vlog here. It's already like 7 p.m. I'm just going to edit and relax for the night. Honestly, I don't know why. I just didn't get a good night's sleep last night, so I'm excited to go to bed early tonight and hopefully kind of catch back up on those hours I missed last night. So I hope you guys had an awesome Wednesday. Happy hump day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!